Boxing this week, 86. We've got quite a lot to talk about. The boxing's going to pick up over the next few weeks, which is, we need it, to be fair. We've needed it. It's been a bit dead since really Shakur Teo.
Terrible, man.
It's not been great, but we are back with a good fight week this week. We've got some good news as well. Carlos Adames smacked Ammo Williams around the ring for 12 rounds. We said that would happen. I'm not surprised. I don't think Paolo's surprised. I don't think any of us are surprised by this. Was Ammo Williams ever going to win that fight? I don't think so.
What's that?
Was Ammo Williams ever really going to beat Carlos Adames?
No, but you know what? Like we said last week, I'm multitasking because I'm getting a charger out. Very prepared. Cool. But this is what we do on Hit Casuals. No, look, we said last week, if we see what kind of fires in his belly, is he ready? You did say, don't know if he's ready yet, to be fair.
Yeah.
That was your words, and you're not wrong there. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, it's like, it's hindsight, but then you look at it and you go, it took in this fight too soon. So now, where does this leave him?
That's what I've been thinking. I don't know. I don't know. He wasn't, unfortunately, good enough in any capacity that I can sit here and go, I want to see him again. I want to see him fight again. You know, his stock didn't grow. He got battered for 12. I mean, it was similar to the Shiraz fight, but obviously Shiraz got him out of there. Adames didn't, but I don't know. He's still young. He's a good fighter. He's talented. I don't think we'll ever see Ammo Williams with a world title unless the world's champions are very weak. In all honesty, or it's one of those where he falls into it. But he'll be back. Eddie Hearn did his job and got him that world title shot that he promised him. So he's earned good money. He can't be too annoyed. On the topic of Eddie Hearn, Matchroom have been doing quite a lot this week. So we had Dalton Smith is back in Sheffield defending his world title that he obviously won against Sabrina Matias against Alberto Priello. Very good fight. I think Smith will win, but it's a very good fight.
Yeah.
Matchroom have also announced Conor Walker versus Sam Eggington in Wolverhampton.
I like that fight.
I really like that fight. That's two people that just go to war. So we know what we're getting with that.
We need it after the last couple of weeks, man.
100%. You've also got TMA Ayton returning, who we're pretty much always going to mention when she's fighting because she is one of the best prospects in all of boxing. And she's fighting Stevie Levy, who's Dave Allen's fighter. So it's a good fight. I don't see it going any other way than TMA Ayton winning. Don't know if you have the same opinion, but
do you know what is hard, yeah? Because Stevie Levy, she's been she's been unfortunate recently. She's had a lot of pull-ups of her fights.
Yeah.
She's gone on some great shows outside of the conventional, the zones, Matchrooms and Queensbury's. So she's active. Yeah, it's a good fight for her. I like Stevie Levy though. I think she's a good boxer, man. But yeah, I mean, this is a great opportunity for her to show her skill, right, and show where she's at with her development and where she can go and what she can do. I think commercially, she's a very sellable fighter.
Definitely.
Purely just on her personality, like she's mad. What's the term? Mad as a box of frogs, isn't it?
Yeah.
But she's hilarious. I want to see her win. Let's put it that way. But that's just more from a point of view of not favoritism, but I like her as a fighter. So, I want to see her do well. It's going to be tough for her, though. I will agree. It'll be tough. She's probably tipped as an outsider.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
She's going to struggle. But she has fought harder opponents than TMA Aiton. She's got more experience in a pro ring. I think there's definitely an argument that says she could win it. I don't think it's unwinnable. I think TMA is going to be too quick. I'd like to see Boxer sign Stevie Levy. I think she's a fighter that sells. She's a personality. I think that's what Boxer need.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, and look, we are talking about Stevie Levy, but like on the subject of Boxer, what is going on with him at the moment?
I have no idea. I have not a clue.
Just very quickly wanted to mention that because you make a very good point. Talk about the signings of Stevie Levy's and these fighters. Lauren Price is obviously fighting Pinheiro next. And when I say what is going on, I don't mean what like when's their next show, because Lauren Price is up next. That's a really good fight, which I'm looking forward to. But I mean it more so of, we're looking at this from a point of view of, if I am a boxer and I'm seeing all these moves made within boxing, the wider spectrum of boxing, I'll be a bit worried as a boxer fighter. You just see Dana White draw up a deal with Sky Sports for Zuffer.
Yeah.
Supposedly
MVP have got access to it as well.
MVP have got access to Sky Sports. Supposedly, when they were walking away from boxing after they cut ties with Ben Shalom.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to say this in a rude way, but the question you got to ask is, was it Sky moving away, or did Sky not see the value in Boxer?
That's, I think, the issue as well that I'm seeing. Is we're also, no other broadcasters are jumping to get Boxer. When Matchroom left Sky Sports, it was a very different situation. But when Matchroom left Sky, Matchroom went straight to DAZN.
Yeah.
And got an absolute fortune from DAZN, because DAZN were almost futureless without Matchroom.
They were the first boxing promotion. I think
they were the first ones to go over. So, and I mean, it is different. Matchroom's been around longer. They've got a better catalogue of fighters, if you want to. But but Boxer, when they left Sky, they did still have Ben Whittaker. They still had quite a few fighters that have all just sort of dropped off. The Vidal Rileys, the Ben Whittakers. We're almost now in a waiting game to see who's next. Caroline Dubois is gone. It's not great. I do think the one worry for me is that they were meant to do almost a show a month, is what they wanted to do under the BBC, under this 1 year contract they've got. And, well, they've not announced the fight for a while now.
Well, they got, obviously, you've got Lauren Price coming up. That's in 9 days. But I mean, you go on to, you've got, they're kind of advertising Fury v. Makhmadov as their event.
Yeah, but that's because of Fraser Clark, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, other than that, at the moment, no other events scheduled from what I can see, and all it says is more events up, announcements coming soon. I mean, it's not good for the fighters like Callum Simpson, and we say this before, Fran Hennessy, and all these fighters who are young, active, need to keep fit and active, and need to keep active in the ring. Obviously, Fran Hennessy come off the back of a great win. Callum Simpson obviously lost recently. He needs to bounce back quick. Listen, there's so many different variants. Obviously, they've just signed the is it Casper?
Gradus Kraus.
Gradus Kraus. Casper. Where did I get Casper from? Gradus Kraus. But he's come from small hall shows, right? He's a good talent, and I watched him a couple of times. Bad I didn't remember his name. Apologies. A moment of madness there. But he come off the back of small hall shows. He's a promising fighter for the future, but he needs activity. I'm just saying, from an outside looking in, I'm looking at that and I'm going, you've got one fight announced, and the other fight is because you've got Fraser Clark on the undercard.
Yeah.
Doesn't really
It
do
doesn't
anything
look good
for your
for them.
fighters. No.
No, it's not a good look. And the problem is we know that fighter contracts are not all that. Fighters can get out of them easily. Well, maybe not easily, but you can get out of a contract. It's not the most difficult thing to do. Fighters do it all the time. They switch promoters. So you just got to think it won't be long. Like Queensberry are lapping up all of the heavyweights at the moment. Anyone they can get their hands on, Queensberry are trying to sign. They've just signed Jared Anderson on a co-promotion with Top Rank.
That's good.
Fraser Clark wouldn't be a surprise. Fraser Clark's good. He sells tickets. People know him. He's been in good fights. Jamie TKV as well. I'm just thinking boxers are vulnerable to being poached.
Mhm.
And whether it's his fault or not, but Ben Shalom has not made himself liked amongst Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn and the others. So they will take the fight. They will, there's no respect there. Eddie Hearn's not going to worry about stepping on toes when it comes to Ben Shalom and his fighters. Eddie Hearn, if he thinks Francesca Hennessy becomes available, or he thinks Lauren Price is available, or Callum Simpson,
Well, this
Eddie
is what I'm
Hearn's
saying
going to
to
go
you.
straight to
Lauren
them.
Price, undisputed, an established fighter that they've got on their show. Yeah, established. We just spoke about the upcoming talent. Established fighter Lauren Price.
Mm.
I'm going to give it another year max before she signed with MVP.
MVP or Matchroom. Exactly. That it will be one of them. And it
I
probably
say
will be
MVP because
MVP
they've got more of the vision for female boxing. Not saying Eddie Hearn doesn't, but MVP are solely focused on building female boxing.
Yeah.
They do have male
cards.
They've got male fighters signed, but they've got elite
male fighters are a bit naff.
Yeah, they've got elite female fighters on their cards, world champions. They've nabbed Caroline Dubois.
They've got about, I think, 25 elite female fighters.
Yeah.
So, and that's not including all of the prospects. So I wouldn't be surprised. I think Lauren Price ends up with MVP or Matchroom pretty quickly, and unless she feels that she's still getting the most out of her career, because she is doing a homecoming fight.
She's headline.
Ben Shalom has taken her to Undisputed, and she is getting paid well. So there's an argument.
If you want loyalty in boxing, you're going to get a dog, man. If you want, there's no loyalty in boxing. You want loyalty, you get a dog.
Yeah,
we saw that with Conor Benn. So I think, unfortunately, the game you're in is keep your fighters entertained, because if you don't, their heads turn.
Oh, massively. And I think we're going to see that a lot with Boxer. Matchroom have also signed an extension with Riyadh season, which is interesting given what's going on with Queensberry. So Matchroom are still on good terms. They've signed an extension. Still don't know what's going on with Queensberry. That's gone quiet massively. But yeah, it's good for Matchroom. Good for Matchroom fighters. The Zone have, in a way, they're trying to push back against Netflix, I assume, but they've now signed an extension with Golden Boy. So I think they've got access to 7 of the major promoters now, because they've got Top Rank recently as well. They've got Boxer to an extent as well. Matchroom, obviously. Queensberry, obviously. So the Zone are pushing back. I just don't know how much they'll be able to. They're not going to make an allowance for fighters like AJ to go and fight on Netflix ever again, because I don't think they can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Ben Whittaker is finally back. He's fighting on the undercard of Callum Smith and David Morrell Jr. We don't know who he's fighting. We don't we spoke about this last week, maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago, about his inactivity for his age as well. Co-main event on the Smith Morrell card without an opponent announced screams of quite an easy fight. I can't really think of a name for him to fight, but
Lyndon Arthur, who Ben Whittaker.
Oh yeah, Lyndon Arthur,
Lyndon
Craig
Arthur,
Richards.
Craig Richards. There's loads. There is loads.
But I think they would have announced it with those two because they're big names in themselves.
I don't know. Dan Aziz is a name that you could fight.
Yeah, but Dan Aziz just lost to Craig Richards. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's.
But then he's more experienced. I think he's got more experience than some of these guys that Ben, he's or will be.
I think Dan Aziz is much better than most of Ben Whittaker's opponents.
Yeah, you've got him. You've got obviously. I don't really quite know what's going on with Buatsi, but Buatsi is in that bracket. He is in that bracket.
I don't mind the Buatsi.
Buatsi's a good fight.
I like that fight. I like that fight actually. Yeah, I like that fight a lot.
There are names there for Ben Whittaker, man. But it's just a case of he's had his introduction. I feel like I think Ben Whittaker's good, but I think it's fair we have to say this because we said the same thing with Shakur when he was at top rank. I need to see Ben Whittaker in these fights where he's gonna show his skill at a high or higher level or highest level or whatever, a step up, right? Shakur, we knew how good he was, right? But he was getting matched incorrectly. Obviously, he's gone to Eddie Hearn. We've seen him in some elite fights already, and he just dominates, and it shows why he's good. Shakur ticked off, done.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely no argument about why he's in pound for pound at all, and should be higher. But Ben Whittaker, I don't know how good he is.
No, nobody does. His best win was his last win, sort of fringe European level. I'm not even sure I'd really go that far. So I don't know. What annoys me is if it were Buatsi, Arthur, Richard, it would have been announced with them because that's a big fight. That makes more news than just Whittaker's fight. The fact it's not, to me, suggests we're going to get a name that we don't really know, who's probably unbeaten, but let's look at who they've beaten, and it will be that their last fight, the guy had 9 losses. It's that kind of thing. So I'm a little bit disappointed, but as long as he fights 2 or 3 times this year, I'm okay with it. I just don't think he will. I unfortunately, he's very inactive. But we've also in America, overseas, we've got Sebastian Fundora defending his title, WBC and WBA, I think, or WBA, but against Keith Thurman, which is a bit weird because Keith Thurman's a very good boxer, but his time has been over with for quite a while. He's also tried to come back before in 2022, and he lost quite badly. So now he's going up against Fundora. The main issue, I think, why is Keith Thurman being allowed this opportunity?
Why was Pacquiao allowed an opportunity?
Yeah. Just to sell.
What belt does Fundora hold?
WBC is one of them, so that's all you need to know.
So there we go. That is why he is allowed. That is why he's allowed, to be honest with you. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, when people say, why is Thurman allowed? Mauricio Suleiman is the WBC president. That is my answer. And in terms of the other boxing boards, they're run as a shambles as well. So the decisions that they're making on a whole at the moment is stupid. This is another. So they all work in sync stupidly. That's a good term to use, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you know what? Maybe I've been a bit harsh there. Thurman lost in 2019 to Pacquiao. It was kind of close. I mean, not really. I mean, he got knocked down. He then beat Barrios. The problem is he then came back 3 years later to beat Mario Barrios. And then he didn't fight for another 3 years. And then he fought Brock Jarvis, who not a very well-known fighter, but you may people at home may remember he fought Liam Paro on a Matchroom card. It's kind of the two up-and-coming Australians who's going to win, and Liam Paro just dominated. Brock Jarvis was just not that good.
No,
he is a good fighter, and he will. I'm sure he'll end up having a decent little career because he hits like a truck. So
he got the
how does
title
that
shot
justify
off the back of Brock Jarvis, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, this is a person that's lost twice in a row, lost before fighting against Paro.
Against Liam Paro, and then since then has won every fight apart from Thurman. But the wins he's got are against 11-2, 13-10, and most recently 7-0. But that's not world level. That's not even close to world level.
Do you want to know what the biggest problem with what you've just said is? And something I find it really hard. We had something go viral before Christmas when they were talking about Jake Paul, right? Jake Paul fighting Joshua, and we mentioned Jake Paul's record of who he fought, and then we started getting a lot of comments back, and people were saying, a lot of fighters fight trash people, or trash is what some of the Americans are using as a term to describe it, or like novices and that to build up their profiles. All the fighters do it, right? When you just talk to me about the fights you've just announced, with the greatest of respects, I can't argue with people when I hear that, because when we look at it in hindsight, the biggest problem is obviously that is terrible. By the way, that is like terrible. So when you hear, they've done all of them, and then he's fought Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman's got a world title shot off the back of that. Like, it's just a joke. Like, it's just a joke. Like, I said it to you yesterday. Yeah, I've got the last year or so, and I love boxing, right? But the last year or so, there's a small part of me that hates boxing. Like, a very small part. But there is a part of me that hates boxing, purely because of the decisions that are made, which I think ruin the fans' experience. With the greatest of respects, no one is going to watch Fundora and Thurman and think that is amazing, that fight.
Yeah, you're right. It's not. Like, I think the names are good. It's what this is. I think you raised a good point with the Jake Paul stuff. In that, I think that because we've allowed Ngannou and Fury, Ngannou and AJ and Jake Paul and Mike, all of these ridiculous fights, it's almost allowed this sort of grey area that we didn't really have before, where we can get Fundora, Keith Thurman, which actually makes no sense. Sebastian Fundora is a legitimate world champion who's earned his right and has for all that he is a little bit of a weird fighter, he's done very well, and he lost to Mendoza. He then beat Tim Tszyu in a brilliant fight, really good fight. Knocked out Chordell Booker. Then he knocked out Tim Tszyu again. So Fundora, legitimate world champion. Keith Thurman's last fight was over a year ago against a guy that is nowhere near world level. So how is this a fight that also, by the way, is pay-per-view, which is mental? Like, it's because Keith Thurman was a big name 7 years ago. Look, it'll sell. The actual event's not great, by the way, if anyone was wondering. That there are some okay fights on there. Brian Mendoza is on there on the card, which is kind of interesting. Elijah Garcia is on there. Is this the first fight back since he lost? Second fight back since he lost. That's okay. There's some okay fighters on that. It's not a great event. It's not a great event. It's definitely not pay-per-view, but it's another one where, like I say, I think promoters and all this are just trying to almost, I don't want to say cheat their way in. It's not cheating, but just playing the game a little bit more now because they've been given the allowance to do it, which I'm not a fan of. But yeah, look, I guess that is what it is. Doesn't help that we've got dodgy boards. And on the topic of that, Jai Opetaia has officially been stripped of his IBF title. So, just to clarify this story, I'll do it quickly because we've done clips, we've done videos on this already, but we will just clarify it for anyone that has not seen it. Jai Opetaia signed with Zuffa Boxing about 2.5 months ago. Jai Opetaia did that within the knowledge of everyone, including the IBF. Everyone knew he was signing with them, and they allowed it. Fast forward, Jai Opetaia is fighting Brandon Glanton on Sunday, 2-3 weeks ago. On Wednesday, IBF say you can't fight. We're not allowing it. You can't do that because we weren't represented well enough, which everyone with eyes could see that they were. Get to Sunday, the IBF have backtracked a little because they got quite a bit of backlash, and they said, "Okay, we're not sure that Jai Opetaia knew what was going on. We'll review our decision." So they let Jai in the ring with the IBF belt, let him celebrate with the belt, let all the photos have the belt in them, and then stripped him a few days ago. What is that? Like, what even is that? That is just. Jai was crying after that fight. He was talking about what the things boxers miss and how much they have to put into these fight camps, or how much
100%.
he personally has to put
100%.
in. And whether or not you agree with Zuffa and their involvement in boxing and all the rest of it, does not warrant you to take a title away. Glanton is a legitimate contender. It's not the best fight, but it's a legitimate contender. So there should be nothing wrong with that. And Opetaia has done his voluntary defenses, so it doesn't make sense. It even more doesn't make sense when you think that the WBA currently have a world champion in Janibek Akhmadali, who is a failed drug cheat, who instead of stripping, they've just given him a 1-year suspension. Then you've got the WBC, who are allowing Usyk versus Verhoeven. So
what the fuck is going on?
In the clear. Yeah.
What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on?
And then they're wondering why Zuffa's doing well. Then they're wondering why Zuffa's doing well.
Yeah, do you know what? We spoke about this earlier on, didn't it? There would have been a little reel come out by now that you would have seen Conor do, talking a little bit briefly about this in his sarcastic tone, because I know Conor's done it. Done it sarcastically. The timeline of this is mad because we're recording this now. That reel's coming out tonight, but you won't see this episode till tomorrow. Let that one sink in. Inception. No, but honestly, I'm done with the boards, man. I've always been done with the boards. Do you know what? Take all of them.
Yeah.
Get them out of boxing. And do you know what? Just have the boxers fight. We either do one board, one belt. And if it's not Zuffa, then we come together and we do one belt, one ranking system to combat maybe Zuffa. which should, and I see, I don't know how this would work because there'd be interest from everyone, but I definitely think the big promoters, in terms of the large ones in this country, should be in those meetings with the decision maker, just from the experiences, obviously the promoters, the shows, etc. They're gonna want their fighter to obviously challenge for a belt, but I don't really know what else to suggest anymore. Dana White's model seems to be the only thing we're going for, and all this will do is push the idea forward of why Zuffa is going to be more important than the WBO, WBC, IBF, WBA. Yeah, it's going to be, and the Ring magazine.
But we've still got a problem. This is my issue with it all. The IBF are horrendous. I don't know what they're doing with Opetaia. It's honestly disgraceful. The WBC have been fucking around for like 4 years. If that, they've been doing it for years. The WBC only care about money and their little sanctioning fee at the end of each fight. So they will sanction. They'll sanction, 2 toddlers fighting if their 3% looks all right. The WBA, I won't mention Gervonta Davis, but the WBA have allowed a lot of things that.
No, we say it, Gervonta Davis.
Well, they allowed Gervonta Davis to be a world champion for a very long time after he was charged with battery assault of his partner. So I don't know what kind of message that is for the boxing world, but it's not a good one, is it?
It took him a long time for him to be stripped, and a long time.
He's only been stripped this year.
But this is what I'm saying to you, and
yeah, and he's been stripped because of inactivity. Yeah, you're bang on. So this is the thing, like, boxing's not a nice sport. We all know that. That's part of the reason we like it. But we don't have to make it corrupt and dirty and, if there's bad people in it, just remove them.
Gervonta Davis last fought on March the 1st, 2025 against Lamont Roach.
Yeah, which he should have lost. So in what world is that your world champion? And then you've got the WBO, who, in fairness, I can't think of anything they've done massively wrong, but they are the same in the way that they will allow for sanctioning of certain fights. But credit where credit's due, I can't think of an example. Then you've got Zuffa and Ring Magazine, and you're going, all right, thank God we've got something that we can rely on. Except we can't, because Zuffa only works as long as Turki Al-Sheikh and Ring Magazine decide to fund them. And we've seen Turkey seemingly get kind of bored with promoters already. So it only works for as long as that. Ring Magazine has just become a monopolized little media propaganda factory that pushes out an agenda based on Ring Magazine-based fighters. And
100%.
Well, we've seen it with Wardley and Dubois, where they're saying, "Oh, the fight's not selling." Well, it is, and they're just pushing the agenda that it's not because they've got an issue with Frank Warren. So that's not good for boxing. And then Zuffa, take away the fact that they are so heavily reliant on the funding by TKO Sella and Turki Al-Sheikh. You've also got the problem of you've got UFC fighters, because it's all under the same parent company of Dana White and all the rest of it. You've got UFC fighters walking out to show me the money and all of this stuff in UFC London just last week.
Yeah, Michael
Venom Page, yeah. Because you're signing and giving $15 million to Conor Benn, whilst Ilia Topuria, who, if you know anything about UFC, or you don't even need to know about UFC to know this bloke, but he is one of the best, if not the best, in the UFC right now, and he's getting $1 million per fight. Conor Benn's waltzed in and got 15 mil.
And they even announced who Conor Benn's, and he's not even fought yet.
He's not even fought yet.
He's not even fought on Zoffa yet. He's got $15 million deal. It's interesting because like an input in this would really be good from like somebody else, like Combat Kings, who do all the MMA content. I've spoke to them off camera about this before. Greeny sat onto the DFC podcast, and we was talking about Zuffa, and Greeny said it's going to work. The problem is there's no smoke without fire.
Oh, I don't doubt it could work. I think they'll end it.
But they are going to sacrifice the promotion that they've got, which made Dana White who he is, and that is the UFC. One of them is going to fall in the pursuit of trying to make either one big. Now, MVP have just come into MMA. They've got Ngannou on their card. They've got Ronda Rousey on their card. She's fighting a legendary MMA fighter. I am not Gina Carano. I'm not massively knowledgeable on MMA, but I know that Ronda Rousey Gina Caroline's somebody that Ronda Rousey used to look up to fighting. So it's like,
yeah, it's a historic fight that Dana White couldn't put on. That's the whole thing behind it.
Ngannou left because of the
on
money. It didn't work with PFL. He went to PFL.
No.
It didn't work with them. But this is what makes it interesting now. Dana White has done something which is either going to go against him or it's going to work in his favor, and he'll just carry on growing Zuffa in the pursuit of absolutely ruining the UFC. By the way, because that's either one's got a thing. But MVP have just announced an MMA card. Can I just take you down a garden path here? Let me know. Just tell me when you want to stop following me. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So MVP put on this card. They realized how successful it will be. The card actually looks really good. To be fair, you got Nate Diaz.
It's meant to be amazing.
You got Nate Diaz on there.
Mike Perry.
Nate Diaz and Mike Perry. Look, listen. Yes, they were all ex-UFC. I'm going to consider older, but these are fights that people as fans want to see. Yes, UFC have got the higher level fighters, but how long for? Because MVP do this and they realize the viewership we've done for this event. Let's go and look at UFC. Ilia Topuria, Pereira, all of the big UFC names. Yeah. Oh, you lot aren't getting paid a lot over there. Let's Tom Aspinall. Let's pull you over. Come to MVP. We'll set up belts, our ranking system, and we'll just have it. We'll have our own UFC here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when that happens, because Jake Paul and Nikita, yeah, I'll give credit to them where credit's due. Commercially are very smart people. And I think other people will follow. Eddie Hearn's gone into fighter management now as well, to mention. This all adds up and could go against Dana White. MVP realized how big the show is. Yeah. We could do this with MMA. Why can't we do our own belts in-house and sign fighters to box?
Yeah.
And then before you know it,
yeah,
everyone's trying to do it because they've got no trust and faith in the boards. Go back to my point. The boards will lose credibility sooner or later.
I think they already have. The boxing is leaking. I'm not buying into the boxing dying. It'll never die because people will always pay to see two people fight, and boxing's the almost purest form of it. So it won't die. But you're spot on. Like the way we know it is right now, boxing, it will not run like that if it keeps being run like it is. Like we always say about the 5 belts and all this. I quite like it. I like it when you get 2 world champions fighting each other. I think that's really cool. Undisputed champions, unified and that's amazing. It does not work when the belts have such a say in what a fighter does. That doesn't make sense. It also doesn't work when they take money that realistically nobody can work out why they deserve. What for providing a belt? Anyone could make a belt. We could have a Hook Casuals belt. You know, maybe we should actually. It's not a bad idea, but like we could. This is something we can all do. Like it's not special to the WBC. It's a pretty good idea. That maybe we'll have to look into that one. But it's nothing special to the WBC.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's just annoying. But boxing does have one really cool story that we've spoken about a little bit, but like it just keeps getting better, which is AJ and Usyk. It's like, well, it's Rocky. It's the Rocky story. We've got Usyk is better than AJ. We all know that. But AJ has decided exactly, and AJ's decided I'm going to go train with the best, the guy that beat me twice. But not just train with him. Usyk's training him. You see AJ on the treadmill. Usyk's telling him take longer steps. You see AJ on the bag. Usyk's telling him when to step in, when to step out. We potentially are going to see a pretty incredible thing, because imagine AJ goes and wins a 3rd world title with Oleksandr Usyk in his corner. That's just a Netflix movie. I mean, it feels like we've seen that movie because it feels like it's just Rocky Creed, but so cool.
I think when we are looking at this, Joshua, Usyk's tipped Joshua to become an undisputed world heavyweight champion, by the way. And I think I said it before, and I think I saw a post on a GRM Daily on Instagram, resharing a reel. The maddest thing that anyone can do is the amount of hate Joshua gets, considering the guy's an Olympic gold medalist, two-time unified heavyweight champion. These are just the facts. Defended his belt 9 times, 9 times, I think, or 10 times. Against his mandatories. Defended against his mandatories successfully. Not, he defended 9 times. He didn't do what Wilder done. He didn't do what Fury done. He fought the top guys. He didn't pick. He said, whoever's in front of me, I'll fight them. There was no issue with making a fight with Joshua. Took Ruiz on short notice. He lost. Come back, fought Ruiz again, beat him. Joshua's got that mentality. I think if he wins a belt or not, the guy is the best thing to happen to British boxing, and we've said it before. The best thing to happen for years to British boxing. In terms of the earnings and what he's accumulated in his boxing career, mental, and he's only gonna improve. Like, I know he's older, and Usyk's probably not looking at changing the way he boxes, right?
Yeah,
but
I don't think
he's
so.
teaching him different boxes, different ways to train, stuff he hasn't done before, Eastern European style, completely different to what he would have learned training in Finchley ABC or somewhere like that, where he still goes back to train now, back to the roots. This Joshua's hungry, really hungry, and that's not to say he never wasn't, but I see something different in Joshua this time round. And credit where credit's due, he's not afraid to lose, and he's not afraid to put himself in tough fights. I can't say the same for other heavyweights.
No,
I cannot say the same for every heavyweight.
He's one of few that seems to just, he will just fight whoever. I mean, obviously, Ngannou and Jake Paul are a bit of a weird one, but Jake Paul was just timing wise, it worked out. Why not?
Well,
Easy money.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Joshua can do that at his stage of the career, but it's good to see. And I know people use that point of reference. He's hungry, but he fought Jake Paul. If I am an elite boxer who's achieved 95% of what any other boxer will ever achieve in their life in a career, it comes to a point where someone says to me, do this fight, you're going to get paid 80 million. You get taxed half of it, but you still walk away with 40 million. Fight a YouTuber, no risk. Because there was no risk in that fight whatsoever. No risk.
He was never losing.
No risk. If I said to you, you can earn 40 million, there's no risk to you, no risk in anything you do, who the hell is saying no?
Exactly. And the timing makes sense. It's not disrupted. The only reason we're seeing a delay on AJ fighting, because obviously we were kind of told he'd be fighting March, April, is purely down to the tragedy that happened when he was in Nigeria. That is the only reason there is a delay. So, I'm happy. I'm excited. I love what we're seeing with AJ and Usyk. I think it's good for both of them as well, by the way, because it's not like Usyk. It's not like Usyk's not going to learn anything off AJ. We're not talking about AJ as if he's a novice. That is one of the best that is one of the best heavyweights in the world.
Yeah.
Quite comfortably. So Usyk will learn and all. But Usyk also, we should say very quickly, has mentioned the fact he is open to fighting Caballero over Tyson Fury, which I do like.
I like that.
I think Usyk will just do whatever makes sense at the time. If Tyson Fury's gone on a run and beaten everyone, including Anthony Joshua, then it's like, do you know what? Fight Tyson Fury. But if Tyson Fury doesn't look all that good and Caballero keeps winning,
and I know obviously we've got to finish soon, but going back to the point, this goes back to the point of the boards. Tyson Fury retired, I'm retired. Tyson Fury retires, I'm retired. Has one fight, here's a world title shot. That's got to stop. And I'm not just saying that for Fury. You know, if Joshua would retire for 2 years, it'd be the same thing with him.
Yeah,
He'd
exactly.
have to work his way up. He needs to fight some of the top guys. You can't jump straight to Fury, to the undisputed heavyweight champion or heavyweight champion, whoever that is. You know, I think he's selecting his fights at this stage of his career because I don't think he can beat everyone anymore. And you know, if you want to talk about being a world champion again, you need to beat the best. The best is who's in front of you. You can't come out on camera and say, "I'm not fighting Moses Itauma." No way.
Yeah.
Like, do you get where I'm coming from? It's
yeah, exactly.
What's the word? Gatekeeping.
Yeah, massively. I mean, we'll talk about it very quickly. We have got Moses Itauma Fight Week, Magnificent 7. We're not going to go into the card because it's a good card. It's not worth going into just yet. We'll talk about it next week. Itauma, Franklin, very quickly, predictions.
Itauma knockout round 1.
Well, round 1? I'm giving Franklin a bit more than that. I'll go round 5.
Remember the last time I said
I know you've done it a few times. You said it with Dillian White. You said it with Dempsey McKean. And to be fair, you actually predicted the man every single time. But I'm going to say Franklin defensively, very good boxer. I'm going to give Franklin 5 rounds. But
if you are a betting person, stick 40 quid on Itauma to knock out Franklin in round 1. Thank me later.
Yeah,
I also safer gambling though. Safer gambling. If you can't do it, nip it in the bud. Control yourselves. Sorry, I just have to put that disclaimer out there.
No, of course, I agree.
If you've got the money, put it down.
Yeah, okay. We will talk about Itauma, Franklin. There's a small chance that I'll be live on Saturday, but we do have the DFC show on Sunday, so I'm not promising anything.
Very quick mention of the DFC
show. 11, big show. Marlon versus Shumba. I mean, just go on the page and you'll see all of the
in terms of the unlicensed boxing scene, they are 2 of the best light heavyweights probably in the country at that level. Shumba is actually a guy who fought at a professional level as well. And he is good friends with Derek Chisora. So like Shumba's there, man. Shumba's there. But yeah, great fight, great cards. Muay Thai, K1, boxing, all on one card. Maidstone, Kent, me and Connor will be there doing our duties for the promoters, the matchmakers. Our bit for them. We'll be there just enjoying the boxing as well. But yeah, come down if you're local to Maidstone, Kent, or if you want to make a journey, come down. Tickets are available on the door, I believe. So yeah, just go over to the DFC page, official DFC _ and all the info's on there.
We'll stick a link in the description anyway for their Instagram as well, because it's honestly, if you see the short promo video that went up today for the main event and they're knocking people out, it gets you excited. Final thing on the topic of live streams, next Thursday we're going to try, hopefully it'll work, live stream 7:45 on Thursday. We think we've sorted out the quality, why the quality was a bit weird in the last few ones. So we'll try and go back to live so that we can actually talk to you guys and get your opinions at the same time as we speak. That's Boxing This Week 86. That's everything. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, follow us on anything else. Just follow us. It's not hard. We've got the Amazon gift card giveaway. You know about it, but you can win £50 if you comment, subscribe. We had 2 people do it last week. That means only 2 people want to win 50 quid. That doesn't make sense to me. I think you should just subscribe. It's free. You get the entrance. It's 1 out of 500. It's good odds. Paolo, anything to say to the lovely people that are at home?
Follow us everywhere. Just don't follow us in real life. Good luck.
Valid.